Lesson 3. The Spanish Colonization of the Philippines. Course. Readings in the Philippine History.
Antonio Pigafetta documented Magellan's expedition, which became the first to circle the globe. The fleet, known as the Armada de Malacca, was supported by King Charles of Spain. While Magellan led the voyage, he died before its completion. Juan Sebastián Elcano took over and successfully finished the journey, proving the world could be navigated in a full circle.
Pigafetta's original journal was lost, but later copies helped preserve his detailed account. He shared stories of survival, encounters, and discoveries during the voyage. His writings were presented to European leaders and serve as a vital source of first-hand history.
The expedition faced extreme hardships. Crew members suffered from hunger, sickness, and conflict. Storms battered the ships, and tensions rose within the crew. They also encountered resistance from some local communities along the way.
On March 16, 1521, the fleet landed in Samar. The next day, they stayed in Homenhon, where early Filipinos welcomed them with food like fish and coconuts. Magellan named the island's archipelago the San Lazarus. These peaceful encounters showed the hospitality of the local people.
On April 14, 1521, Raja Humaban and over 800 others were baptized into Christianity. Queen Juana received an image of the Santo Niño, now central to the Sinulog festival. This marked the beginning of religious transformation in the region.
On April 27, 1521, Magellan faced strong resistance from Lapu-Lapu and his community in Mactan. While Datu Sula sought Spanish aid, Lapu-Lapu refused to surrender. The Spaniards were caught in traps, and Magellan was killed, highlighting Filipino bravery and resistance.
The first recorded Easter Mass happened on March 31, 1521, according to Pigafetta and Albo. It was held on an island called Masoy. A cross was placed on a hilltop, and early Filipinos witnessed the ceremony, blending local and foreign traditions.
While Butuan is often claimed as the Mass site, Pigafetta never mentioned it or a river. Scholars argue that Limasawa, Masoywa, fits the details better. The debate continues today, reflecting the importance of examining sources carefully.
Pigafetta and Albo recorded similar events. Pigafetta provided vivid stories and details, mentioning local trade, gold, and new islands. Their accounts confirm peaceful relations with Cebuanos and provide strong evidence of early Filipino society.
This voyage proved the Earth is round and expanded global knowledge. It opened new trade routes and introduced Filipino culture to the world. It also showed how unity, courage, and cultural respect are vital in facing challenges.
The Cavite Mutiny and the execution of Gambursa were major turning points in Philippine history. Though the priests were accused of leading a revolt, the events awakened the Filipino spirit of resistance and inspired future revolutionaries.
Mariano Gomez, Jose Burgos, and Jacinto Zamora were Filipino priests who fought for equal rights for local clergy. They challenged the abuses of the Spanish friars and were falsely accused of leading the 1872 uprising. All were executed, becoming martyrs of reform.
Father Gomez defended clergy from Cavite. Father Burgos was a strong voice for Filipino leadership in the church. Father Zamora hoped for justice and equal rights. These men stood up for dignity, equality, and national identity.
Jose Montero blamed the mutiny on labor unrest and ignored early signs of rebellion. He suggested that meetings in homes of elites and priests fueled the uprising. His account portrayed the clergy as enemies of Spain.
Governor Izquierdo held native priests, workers, and lawyers responsible. He accused clergy of promising rewards to rebels and using religion to gain followers. He painted a picture of rebellion driven by greed and unrest.
Historian Tavera countered the Spanish version. He believed friars exaggerated the revolt to regain power. He argued that the mutiny was a reaction to lost rights, block education, and harsh colonial control, not a clergy-led club.
Plochet saw early reform ending when Izquierdo arrived. Schools were closed, labor became harsher, and Filipinos lost hope in peaceful change. Friars kept their power, and those pushing for reform were punished.
Despite different versions, all accounts emphasized the clergy. Labor issues, power struggles, and fear of reform triggered the uprising. Spanish officials used the mutiny to silence dissent and protect their control over Filipinos.
The martyrdom of Gombursa teaches us the value of standing up against injustice. Their story reminds us that change takes sacrifice, unity, and courage. They planted the seeds of the revolution and national awakening.
The first cry marked the start of open rebellion against Spain. Led by Andres and the KKK, this act happened in or near Caloocan. The cry symbolized a break from colonial rule and inspired a national movement.
That cry may have included the first shout for freedom, the clash with Spanish forces, or the tearing of tax papers. To Filipinos, it meant reclaiming dignity and starting the revolution. It was a call to action.
There are many claims about the cry's date and place, ranging from August 23 to 26, 1896, and from Balintawak to Pugadloan. Due to varying eyewitness accounts, the exact site remains debated among scholars. Masangkay said the cry happened on August 26 at Apollonio Samson's house in Balintawak. Bonifacio gave a stirring speech and called on everyone to fight. The act of tearing the cédulas symbolized their full break from Spain.
Valenzuela claimed the cry happened on August 23 at Juan Ramos's place in Pugadloan. Over 1,000 Katipuneros met to decide on the uprising. They tore their cédulas and shouted for freedom, a strong display of unity.
Critics argue Balintawak was the initial safe zone. They note inconsistencies in dates and details. Still, many historians believe Valenzuela's account remains credible because of its specificity and close involvement with the Katipunan.
Supporters of the Balintawak version say it was the first site of resistance. The name Pugadloan wasn't widely used in 1896, raising questions. Some link the name to a tree that symbolized protection, but uncertainty remains.
Historian Teodoro Agancillo favored Valenzuela's version. President Diosdado Macapagal declared August 23 in Pugadloan as the official date and site. This recognition honors the bravery of the revolution's early fighters.
The first cry reminds us to stand for our rights and value unity. It shows that collective courage can spark change. These early acts of defiance continue to inspire Filipinos to speak up, stay informed, and be proud of their history.